please let it be known if you would like to do a discharge petition banning insider trading for members of Congress. I will happily support that. I think that it is disgusting that people do that. I share Mr. Higgins' sentiment, and I think that a majority of the American people want that. So I'd be happy to support that. We can get the ball rolling. Discharge petition away on that, please. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Ms. Green.
Hi. I'd like to point something out that our Democrat colleagues know this because they did reconciliation before when they were in charge. And, you know, it may be hard for some of the freshman Dems to understand, but this is not a policy debate. That's not what reconciliation is. This is a budget process. And so for the American people watching at home, our Democrat colleagues are sitting here trying to score points and spread more lies and divisiveness about Republicans in order to spread more garbage across the country. But this is about budget, Mr. Chairman, and this committee is trying to do serious work, and we need to stay focused on budget, and that's for the American people. And it is very serious that's what we remain focused on here in our work on oversight. And the Democrats know that provisions must be carefully crafted because they did it before, and it has to be scored by CBO to be included in this budget bill. And that's what we're trying to do, Mr. Chairman, and I just wanted to point that out for the people watching at home so they are not swayed by this entertainment today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
First of all, I obviously am supporting what the Oversight Republican committee is doing here for this entire process. But I did want to speak to Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, please let it be known if you would like to do a discharge petition banning insider trading for members of Congress. I will happily support that. I think that it is disgusting that people do that. I share Mr. Higgins' sentiment, and I think that a majority of the American people want that. So I'd be happy to support that. We can get the ball rolling. Discharge petition away on that, please. Thank you.
Well, if I can respond to that, I appreciate that, Representative Luna. I agree with you.
Does the gentlelady yield her time? Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Representative Luna. I also agree with you. There should be absolutely no insider trading in Congress. In fact, I believe there should be no stock trading of individual stocks by members of Congress, period. I support legislation to do so, and so I'm looking forward to a conversation to move this issue forward, so thank you.
First of all, I'm extremely proud to have this reconciliation package being marked up today, and I'd like to say that the language placed in section 90004 of this package specifically is a provision that I contributed to in the reconciliation package, and it's not about ideology. It's about the budgetary responsibility of protecting American taxpayers from spiraling entitlement costs tied to the federal workforce. So first and foremost, for those of you who have maybe ever served, there was a point in time when the military had the option of, and new incoming troops had the option of actually adopting the new retirement program. So instead of just being 20 years automatic retirement, it shifted to something like a 401k. What this provision specifically allows is for new hires to either opt into a traditional first protections where they have the option of increasing their personal contribution by 5%, or if they choose not to, having access to more cost-efficient personal track. That's important because a lot of people are saying that this is somehow going to impact the current retirement system, and that's simply not the case. This structure is going to incentivize and create actuary beneficial dynamic changes for the Treasury, allowing the CBO to reduce the deficit by over $4.5 billion over the next decade. So I understand everyone here is representing their districts, their constituents, and what I can tell you is first and foremost, it's really important that the facts and the evidence is out there. We are not trying to attack people's retirements. In fact, we're doing quite the opposite, and if you have a runaway train of debt, ultimately understand that that can impact everything from Social Security to these retirement packages, so we have to be fiscally responsible. Thank you, Chairman, and I will also say this. Unfortunately, right now, because of the amount of, I think, partisanship in regard to this topic, I think a lot of people are genuinely scared about DOGE. And the fact is that DOGE is actually doing right by all of the American people by ensuring that future programs, future generations are not left on the fiscal hook of debt, but also to have the opportunity and access to the American dream. So I understand what everyone's here is trying to do in regards to their constituencies, but it's very important that we have those facts out there. So thank you, Chairman. I yield this time, and I urge all of my colleagues not just to support this amendment, but also to support this reconciliation package.
In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it, and the amendment is not agreed to. A
I'd ask for a
recorded vote
recorded-
is ordered. As previously announced, further proceedings on the questions will be postponed.